So today, I thought it would be fun to compare coaster manufacturers to car companies. Turns out there's more similarities than I initially thought. But first, welcome to 808 Coaster Life. If you're new to this channel and you love roller coasters and other theme park related stuff, please consider subscribing. Please know, I definitely don't know as much about cars as I do roller coasters. I did my best to do research about general car company reputations, but of course I could be wrong. Some of these equivalents were also easier than others. So let's start with probably the easiest one.
It's a little better. So for RMC, I chose Tesla. Both companies rose in the 2010s and started a trend in their respective industries. Before RMC, no one ever thought you could take an old wooden coaster and drastically improve the ride experience. Similarly, Tesla really popularized the electric car. RMC also invented radical new coaster elements that caused other manufacturers to incorporate into their own coasters. GCI and Gravity Group also later came out with their own technologies for retrofitting old wooden coasters. In the same way, some automakers combated Tesla by building their own EVs. As a result, both companies have pretty passionate fan bases, especially Tesla. Next one up is B&M, and I think the closest automotive equivalent is Lexus. Both product lines are more expensive and luxurious than most. B&Ms tend to have a smoother and more comfortable ride compared to your average roller coaster, while Lexus is of course a luxury car company. I could have chosen Mercedes, but I decided on Lexus for two main reasons. First of all, both companies are more conservative. To kind of get the idea across, this is Intamin's first multi-launch coaster, and this is their newest one. Things have changed. This is B&M's first invert, and this is their newest one. The Surf coaster is an exception, and B&M occasionally gets out of their comfort zone, but other manufacturers innovate more often. Lexus operates very similarly, innovating at a slower pace. Secondly, as a result, both companies make reliable products. While the flashy Intamins break down or even close for extended periods of time, you can count on B&Ms to operate most of the time. Similarly, Lexus cars are generally more reliable than their German competition. Turning to a completely different coaster manufacturer, for S&S I chose Chrysler. Both companies have made interesting products that are hit or miss. Some S&S models like the 40 Freespin turned out to be very popular, while others like the Freefly and Screamin' Squirrel weren't as lucky. Chrysler made some unique cars such as the PT Cruiser, and their minivans sold very well. However, other cars they made didn't end up being that successful, and the brand currently has only 2 models offered. Both companies' products also aren't the most reliable. S&S still can't make a dependable air launch coaster, and Chryslers generally don't age well either. Going back to Europe, for Gerstlauer I chose Hyundai. Gerstlauer and Hyundai make weird designs. Check out this average B&M Hyper and compare that to Gerstlauer's take on a Hyper. Not ugly, but definitely unique. Hyundai's recent cars also have unique designs, some of which I really like. Both companies are on the cheap side, but improved a lot in recent years. Gerstlauer was never known for making big rides for a while, but after debuting their Infinity coasters, we now know Gerstlauer is capable of making world-class rides. Hyundai also went from making cheap econo boxes to very value-packed cars. Electrification has also helped distinguish Hyundai from the rest. Going from Germany to Switzerland for Intamin, I chose BMW. For the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna say both companies' products perform well. What do I mean? Well, for cars, that would mean having good speed, acceleration, and handling. For coasters, that means being a very intense ride. Both companies also offer diverse portfolios. As a result, both companies are known to make pretty unreliable products. While some companies are worse than BMW in terms of reliability, they're far from being Toyota. And of course, large-scale Intamins are known to have many problems over the years. Both of their products are also known for being expensive, both to purchase and maintain. Now for the more difficult ones. For Mack rides, I chose Volvo. Like Mack rides, Volvo has been around for a while. I guess you could say that about a lot of them, but both companies also seem to have improved a lot in recent times. It wasn't until 2011 that Mack rides finally made a large-scale thrill coaster as opposed to wild mice and water coasters. Like Hyundai, electrification is helping Volvo create better products. Mack coasters and Volvo cars are also known to be super high quality and very safe. As a result, their products also tend to be very expensive. Unlike their German or Swiss counterparts, Mack and Volvo's products also aren't as flashy or high performing. They also have okay reliability. Moving to America, for aerodynamics, I chose Ford. Both companies were huge innovators in the 20th century. Aero invented the tubular steel coaster and built basically the world's first modern steel coaster. Ford invented the assembly line, which helped them produce more cars at an affordable price. Other car companies incorporated assembly lines soon after Ford did. Similarly, many coaster manufacturers started specializing in steel coasters after Aero pioneered the technology. Both products were also generally on the cheap side. Aero coasters, for instance, were cheaper than their European counterparts, which made them pretty popular. Both companies also offered a wide variety of models. The only major difference is that well, one is still with us. For GCI, I chose Honda. Both companies have a more conservative approach to making products, but are still high quality. Honda doesn't electrify a lot of their portfolio. Currently, they only have 2 models with hybrid offerings. Similarly, it didn't take until 2018 for GCI to unveil a more modern take on the wooden coaster. However, both companies are known to make good quality and reliable products. They also have mid-range pricing, not cheap, but not expensive either. Finally, for Vekoma's automotive equivalent, I chose Kia. Both companies started making cheap and not so good products. Old Kias were never amazing, and I don't think anyone will forget boomerangs and SLCs. However, both companies have improved a lot in recent times and now offer good value for money. Vekoma has been killing it lately with their newest coasters, which are smoother and more intense while not being super expensive. Kia also had a similar glow up. Their cars now offer better value in terms of tech and features than some of the competition. It will be very interesting to see how these two companies evolve in the near future. Do you think these matches could have been made differently? If so, let me know down in the comments. And if you want to watch an oldie of mine, check out my top 10 coaster manufacturers video in the card up there. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know by leaving a like on this video and maybe even subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.